Well, hello there, I'm Anxious Cynic, and thank you all for joining me for another Minecraft animation competition compilation. Let's get into the reviews. So our first submission here, there's just a couple of things that I can point out real quickly here. First of all, like you can tell in the very first shot that we're in flatlands. I feel like I have to emphasize this pretty much every compilation. Try not to have flatlands. It's just one of the easiest things you can avoid, so you know, use appropriate size scenery. If you want to use a small scene, just go into Minecraft or something and like build up more of this, like these walls kind of thing, so that you can hide the flatlands even though your scenery is not actually that big. Second is the theme here, of course, is apocalypse, and you kind of have this sort of, I guess it's supposed to be a asteroid apocalypse kind of thing. It got there, but you know, being the first submission, you had plenty of time to add to this and make something more of it, so don't be in a rush to finish your submission. Try to make something that you'll be proud of. So for our second submission, I actually really enjoyed this one. The concept here is really cool. I like what you did with the dialogue there. As far as any issues go, the main thing that stuck out to me is in the very beginning here, there's just like no audio. It's just completely silent until the music starts. So not a big deal, but you know, if you're gonna have music and things like that, I would try to make it consistent throughout the whole animation. Small little detail there. Sound effects would have been nice, of course. Technically speaking though, the main issue I noticed is the particles here, especially on the meteor. They come out very quickly, and what you're trying to do, like this is a meteor that's gonna take out Earth, so having them move so fast and not they're kind of dying too quickly away from it, you would really want to try and slow that down and emphasize like the scale of this. Like the bigger things are, I think they kind of look slower when they move, so that's one technical detail that would have really helped this, is just slowing those particles down, maybe altering the size of them a bit, having them last a little bit longer, kind of showing it traveling through the sky, leaving its trail of particles behind, things like that. In our third submission here, I actually thought this was an interesting take on the concept as well. Obviously, I think we're dealing with flatlands, but due to the post-apocalyptic kind of foggy nature of it, I think it worked. So no real knocks there. Obviously, a little bit of scenery probably could have enhanced this, but I think I get what you were going for, so no problem there. I also highly agree with the fact that I would survive in the zombie apocalypse and be there to save other people. Totally realistic, so definitely 10 out of 10 on that part of it. Okay, so for our fourth submission here, we have an even more amplified version of the issues we had with the first submission. And first of all, like this isn't a big deal, but the crafting table floor stands out kind of weird. I don't know if this is like pre-made scenery or what, but personally, I wouldn't have used this for something that's trying to depict, you know, a more serious concept. Especially if you're not going with an overall comedic tone. Second is, this is massively just undesirable flatlands going on here. I don't know what the deal is here. This is artistic choice, I guess, to maybe hide the weird meteor texture thing you're using, of it just being completely blown out and out of focus, because it seems as soon as it blows up that it goes back to being in focus. So I guess, you know, you're just trying to hide that detail. I think it wouldn't have been that bad. You probably could have made that work. You just do a bit wider shot and things like that. But the main thing, you know, you have two little buildings here. Your smoke particles here are way too big for the scale here. Again, like the particles for the explosion are bigger than the houses or the apartment building. Not a whole lot to comment on here due to the limited nature of the animation, but again, flatlands, especially like this, it's just an egregious use of flatlands, unfortunately. And our fifth submission here is an interesting one. I like the artistic style that you went with here. This seems to be a bit more of a, you know, an artistic approach. A little bit unique to the theme. The actual events are a little bit confusing because you have this first flash here and he's got TNT, and then the next one is like a meteor coming down, so I'm not quite sure. It almost got like a vibe of like being like Carrie or something, where he is destroying things himself, but then it's like a meteor. But either way, I think everything was pretty good. Obviously right there, got a little bit of flatland showing through. but I enjoyed it as a visual concept. What I really would have liked to have is some audio in this, though. Some audio would have really helped send this one over the edge, over the top, and make it a bit more substantial, a bit more interesting viewing experience. All right, so for our 6th submission here, this one was a pretty intense one. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. Obviously, once again, we got a little bit of flatland showing through there. That seems to be the trend for this competition, but overall I really enjoyed this one. I like the style you went with. This is a bit more of a Zack Snyder kind of zombie apocalypse, but I really like what you did here with the fighting and everything. It seems that maybe your animation skills aren't up to par yet, so some of it came off kind of rough, but that style and everything that you seem to be going for is shining through very clearly. So I really enjoyed seeing, you know, the steps to getting to where you're trying to be right there. One thing I would say in terms of the animation that could have helped you, especially if you're limited in your skill set just yet, or you're crunched on time, Blue Hedgehog Gamer I think is good with this, and I think Bean Dream has done some where you do a little bit more of like a kind of a stop motion-y 8-bit style, at least how I would describe it, of animation. You should check out maybe previous compilations or their channels to see what I'm talking about, but that would have really helped this one. I think even just stylistically, I think it would have worked well for this. Either way, you know, if you're trying to go for the more natural fluid animation style, you're on your way there. I can definitely see that coming through, like I said. The main issue I had with this one is probably just this one shot here. The zombie walks by, the camera pans a little bit, and it's just kind of odd composition. So again, that's not really a big deal, but instead of just having this kind of with him standing there for a bit in an odd composition, like this is just kind of blowing our vision out with the light there, kind of center stage. Just have it more quickly, like before he even stops, or like right as he stops, like right here or whatever, just go ahead and cut to the next shot instead of the camera stopping and kind of waiting for the shot to happen. But besides that, really good work, and I enjoyed this one. And for our 7th submission here, we had Vikram coming in hot with another take on the kind of outer space theme, like one of the previous submissions. But one thing he definitely got right here is the particles. Like I mentioned, the particles aren't bigger than the asteroid or whatever, the ore block of doom, and they leave a long lasting trail. I like the skybox he used for space. Nice use of lens flares, a great added touch there, especially right here. That is a good example of the particles that I'm talking about. Like they linger behind, it's leaving a trail of its impending doom as it comes into the Earth's atmosphere. So there's a lot of things going on here, and I really appreciate the effort that he put in, especially using multiple characters. It would have been so easy just to have this one person come out on the beach, and it's like, yeah, you get the idea. But he actually goes through all the little steps of having, you know, other people come out. There's the church scene with all the people that are sitting there, even though they're not animated. It's a lot of little like tedious effort to go in and like put all these models in there and fill out this whole scene and whatnot. So definitely knocked it out of the park with this one. I really love the particle effects you used and everything you did to convey this idea. I like the kind of solemn, sad nature of it. Very good work. And for our final submission here, I really love Snell's custom intros here with the Snell getting crushed by the zombie. Great added touch. Very cool. This obviously seems like a bit more of a scene out of an animation than anything conclusive on its own, but I really liked what you did here. Multiple zombies coming in, unique textures being used, interesting looking, barricade, car busting through, nice effects with it, the blocks all getting displaced as the car comes through. Very cool. Really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the unique take on it. This one leaves me wanting more. I definitely would like to see what else you would come up with in continuing this animation. With all that said, I think it's pretty obvious with this one, we're gonna have to go ahead and give the win to Vikram Exclusive. Just everything he did with this one, like I said, just encompasses the theme so well. Just so many different elements, just the effort it would take to do everything that he did with this animation, everything, I think definitely deserves the win. So yeah, there you have it. Vikram's gonna get to pick the next theme. Join the Discord if you want to participate, and I will see you guys in the next one.